The world of Elden Ring is teeming with all kinds of wildlife, including several real species. In the previous video, we examined over 20 of them. A link is in the description in case you missed it. This time, we'll cover some of the game's more exotic life forms, including a few fan favorites. Let's dive in. Miranda flowers are carnivorous plants that feed upon human flesh. They're able to adapt to their environment, allowing them to thrive in a large variety of biomes. Miranda's Prayer, an item cut from the final version of the game, described Miranda as a maiden of the flower crucible. Her statue resembles several pieces of iconography in Majula and the Erdtree, suggesting she was a major figure of the Crucible era. Additionally, Crucible Knight Devonia can use a crucible aspect to manifest a Miranda sprout. This could explain why Miranda blossoms can summon pillars of light, reminiscent of Miquella's incantations during his boss fight. Erdtree avatars are hollow tree stumps with humanoid limbs that emerged in the aftermath of the shattering. Most of them can be found guarding minor Erdtrees throughout the lands between. Some were infused with millennia's scarlet rot, which doesn't appear to weaken them, nor sever their ability to use golden magic. Even though the Erdtree is considered a failed Erdtree, 2 avatars can be found here. This could imply that the Erdtree is connected to the Erdtree's root network. As would be expected, there aren't any Erdtree avatars in the realm of shadow. However, the Scadutree possesses a singular avatar, which resembles a wilted sunflower. Its bark is brittle, born of dark notions that twist and bend its stalk, most likely resulting from the creation of the Erdtree. Ulcerated tree spirits are serpentine entities with bark-like skin, commonly found near the roots of the Erdtree. Much like avatars, they presumably are part of the broader Erdtree organism, akin to an immune system of sorts. They are covered in swelling red pustules, possibly symbolizing the Erdtree's faltering health in the wake of the shattering. Many of them are found in Lendel, dwelling in the blanket of ashes that partially covers the city. Others are infused with scarlet rot, including the one right above Millennia's room. Interestingly, the Shadow Realm variant looks noticeably different, its bark looking healthier, with fewer scars and bubbling ulcers by comparison. This could imply that the Scadutree is healthier than the Erdtree, possibly because it was already segregated from the mainland by the time Marika shattered the Elden Ring. Spring hares are burrowing rodents that are native to arid areas. The species name is somewhat misleading, as they look closer to small kangaroos than actual hares. They can be found throughout woodlands in the lands between and the realm of shadow, presumably living off plant matter such as roots, stems, leaves, and seeds. In real life, spring hares are known for their biofluorescent fur, a detail which hasn't been adapted in-game. Rats are persistent scavengers, often found in abandoned structures and sewers. They seem particularly susceptible to the maddening flame of frenzy, almost as if they're drawn to it. Curiously, rats are the only enemy in the game that can drop rune arcs, although the drop rate is very low. This might be a reference to the Dark Souls trilogy, in which rats have a similarly low chance to drop humanity, the gameplay equivalent of rune arcs. Due to their high numbers and adaptability, boars are one of the widest-ranging mammals on Earth. They're omnivorous beasts that aren't inherently aggressive towards humans, but may charge when provoked or threatened. These traits also apply to Elden Ring's boars, found roaming across several regions. Commander Gaius rides a giant armored boar in battle, their synchronized attacks hinting that they fought together many times before. As such, Gaius's boar might very well be the oldest living specimen of its species. Demi-humans are simian creatures that generally possess a blend of human and mammalian features. At night, they become increasingly feral and aggressive, their eyes glowing a menacing red. Despite their bestial tendencies, demi-humans show undeniable signs of intelligence. They're led by larger specimen known as queens, some of whom are capable of using magic. They're also capable of diplomacy, as evidenced by Kenneth Height's questline.
Right then, time for me to head to the fort. I've much to do. First, I'll have to re-establish communication with the demi-humans. What's that look? You don't believe me? Well, under the Erdtree, commingling with the demi-humans is made possible. Even the vulgar shall not be left behind, under the rule of true order. Just you watch, my friend. Just you watch.
There's also Bok the Seamster, a fully sentient demi-human who can join the Tarnished on their journey.
I heard that you and the other Tarnished seek the throne of the Elden Lord. Well, I know that you will be the one. And you'd make just the manner of kind-hearted lord that I'd wish for.
Additionally, players can encounter demi-human swordmasters in the realm of shadow, whose skills with blades rival those of Malenia herself. Elden Ring's lions are much taller than their real-life counterparts. Severed horns jut out from their manes, betraying a connection to the ancient Crucible era. Curiously, this species is nowhere to be found in the realm of shadow, even though the place is teeming with all manner of horned wildlife. Maybe this has to do with the fact that they're clad in chains and used as war beasts in the lands between. The Hornsent seem to view lions as sacred beasts, long-awaited vessels of their gods.
Oh, forgive this old woman her foolish fears. 'Tis such relief I cannot express. After an eternity of the mind, our voices have at last reached the heavens, as evinced by thy gracious arrival.
In the present day, elder lions can be found among the forces of various factions, including the Redmanes, the banished knights of Castle Saul, as well as Godric's forces in Stormvale Castle. Additionally, cut content involved elder lions fighting in colosseums, presumably as entertainment. Bernal's armor states that beasts are drawn to champions and to lords. Maybe this explains why Serosh, a golden lion known as Lord of Beasts, became bound to Godfrey. Spider scorpions are native to the land of Shadow. They used to be smaller in size until a giant variant appeared from the Church of the Bud and spread to the rest of the continent. These ambush predators often dangle from ceilings or perch high on walls, waiting to drop down on unsuspecting prey. Many of them dwell in the ruined structures of Belurat, the Hornsent settlement which was sacked during Messmer's crusade. In combat, they use sharp pincers and are able to deliver venomous stings with their tails. Some possess insectile wings, possibly as a result of an evolutionary crucible mutation. Teardrop scarabs are non-hostile wildlife found throughout the lands between. Just like real-life beetles, they use their impressive strength to roll balls of dung, using them as storage. A popular theory argues they might be spies of Gideon Ofnir, leader of the Round Table Hold's Tarnished. It would explain how Gideon knows so much about the demigod's whereabouts, despite staying at the Hold the whole game. This theory is, however, highly debated. As others argue, there's no explicit link between the scarabs and Gideon. Kindred of Rot are anthropomorphic arthropods, commonly dwelling in places blighted by scarlet rot. They wield glaives made from hard, sharpened shell and can fire homing spikes from a distance. They can be seen worshipping entities connected to scarlet rot, such as Melania and Romina, as well as ancient figures depicted in statues. The most common variant possess pale brown shells. These kindred were rejected by Melania, who clearly resents her fate as goddess of scarlet rot. By opposition, those near the ruins of Raur have crimson shells, hinting at an active connection with Romina. A theory based on Gowry's questline argues they may be part of a mycelial hive mind, allowing rot followers to share information across great distances. Spirit jellyfish are ethereal beings, often found near water and cemeteries. They are usually peaceful, though their entire groups turn hostile when any individual is attacked. They closely resemble a real species, which scientific name is Aurelia aurita. Aurelia also happens to be the given name of the spirit jellyfish ash received from Roderica. The distant home in the item description refers to Stargazer's ruins, where players can reunite her with her sister.
Dear sister, you're finally here. No time to waste. Let's see the stars.
This implies jellyfish are spirits of deceased people, unable to move on. The fact that they take on this form is interesting, considering the lands between are surrounded by an ocean. This species is one of several narrative links between death and water in Elden Ring. Spirit eels reside in the realm of shadow. These translucent beings might be inspired from spotted garden eels, which anchor themselves to the seafloor in similar fashion. When hostile, they can inflate their heads and use them as bludgeons. Much like jellyfish, they're usually located near graveyards and water sources, suggesting they manifest through the same process. A large number of them guard the way to the stone coffin fissure, possibly under Miquella or Santrina's influence. The spectral steed Torrent is a unique creature, granted to the Tarnished by Melina. He resembles a horned horse with goat-like eyes, hinting that his species results from a crucible mutation. He has a taste for roa fruits, which can be fed to him to replenish his health. Torrent shows subtle signs of intelligence at several points throughout the game. Melina apparently defers to his judgment when selecting the Tarnished for her accord.
Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
He also shows complete trust in the Tarnished, never backing down from a fight or a ledge. There is, however, one area where Torrent is too frightened to answer the Tarnished's call. The Abyssal Woods, a place tainted by the Frenzied Flame's influence. Interestingly, Torrent appears to have scars on his body, possibly resulting from a past encounter with the Flame of Frenzy. Maybe that explains why he's so afraid of it. Falling star beasts are found in craters, indicating that they crashed down on the lands between from outer space. Their bodies are formed of obsidian rock. They also have spiky tails, patches of white fur, and insect-like mandibles. Much like other alien creatures in Elden Ring, they're able to control gravity in combat. The largest of them is located atop Mount Gelmir. It possesses the same blue eye as malformed stars and can also channel beams of magic. This could mean that falling star beasts eventually evolve into astels, although the full-grown title implies otherwise. Malformed stars are insect-like creatures with long bodies comprised of spheres, born in the lightless void of space. They're typically found hanging from the ceilings of caves in proximity to ruins of the eternal cities. The most dangerous specimen are called astel, recognizable by their quadrupedal stance and colored spheres. In the distant past, one of these creatures leveled the eternal city of Noclateo with a rain of meteorites, razing most of it in a single night. Another astel fell on the consecrated snowfield long ago. Over time, the meteor it came from was buried under thick layers of ice and snow. At some point, ore miners inadvertently dug their way to the underground impact site, unearthing the spaceborne monster. Finger creepers are sentient humanoid hands that are mostly found in the northern regions of the lands between. They were born of Metyr, daughter of the Greater Will, and the first shooting star to fall on the continent. They exist in 3 different sizes, the largest of which is far larger than Metyr, which implies that finger creepers grow in size over time. Rykard is connected to finger creepers in several ways, hinting that he was aware of the Shadow Realm's existence and Marika's secrets. Lampreys are eel-like humanoids who dwell in the Shadow Realm's finger ruins. They're inspired from a real species of jawless fish that's been around since the Devonian geologic period, about 400 million years ago. Many lampreys are found sleeping, coiled in a resting position, while others stand guard against intruders. Based on their appearance and item descriptions, they might be ancient humans who attempted to transform into 2 fingers. Magma worms are quadrupedal draconic beings with vestigial wings and broad heads. They tend to dwell deep underground or near sources of molten lava. Worms were once heroes who partook in dragon communion, for which they were cursed to crawl the earth as flightless imitations of dragons, losing their humanity in the process. Interestingly, 2 of them have kept their names, including Theodorix, a hero of the war against the giants. Long ago, Baal betrayed the ancient dragons and clashed with Dragon Lord Placidusax. Their vicious battle ended in a stalemate, leaving both dragons with grievous injuries. As revenge for this betrayal, Placidusax created the art of dragon communion, sending his followers to shepherd humanity into hunting Baal and his descendants. As reward for felling the Drakes, dragon hunters consumed their hearts in order to gain power, which eventually transformed them into magma worms. dragon communion churches are located in several regions, implying the practice was relatively widespread in the past. Despite this ancient custom, many dragons still inhabit the lands between, effectively acting as apex predators to this day. Looking at some of the most notable specimen, there's Greol, mother of all dragons, who might have been Baal's consort. There's also Borealis and his ancestor Caligo, the ice dragons of the mountaintops. The ancient dragons, meanwhile, are much less widespread, their numbers concentrated in Farum Azula and Altus Plateau. They can be distinguished from their cousins by their scales of stone and gold, their 4 wings, as well as their mastery of lightning. These beings supposedly ruled over the continent until their defeat to Leindel's Golden Order, making them one of the most influential species in Elden Ring history. If you enjoy my content, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.